Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review, and in this indie comic review I'll be covering Kosher Mafia issue 3, and I must admit I'm looking forward to issue 4 and of course issue 5 and whatever with this series. So starting off with first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in the area of the internal art and also what's happening story-wise with the key characters. Starting now. So as we start to move in towards the beginning of the story, we have our main character, Mr. Gold, who is presently outside of Cleveland, and we see that there's been a bit of talk and discussion and between him and his accomplice. And with that, we also see some of the things that are happening behind the scenes, along with a bit of a talk with some of the people who play a part in this story. As if you remember in the previous issue, one of the things that they did do, they targeted like some of the Nazis in this time period and this era. And we learned that what's happening here takes place between the 25th and the 26th of September. So we've got basically a couple of days apart. So as we start to jump towards the middle of the story, we get some more discussion in relation to Mr. Gold, and we learn of some of the other people who are quite possibly going to be making an appearance in the story that we might get to see later on in the cast of characters. That will be mentioned in the story part of the review. And last but not least, towards the end, to which they get ready to move on to the next part of their job. As you can see, we've got a bit of a foreshadowing as to what the next cover will look like. And yes, it certainly makes one wonder, why would they do this to their own? So, for the internal art, I give it an 8 out of 10, as it's been consistent from issue to issue. And I think they've done a real good job with the artists that they have been using on this series, and I definitely want to pick up the trade for this. So next is the area of the story. First things first, did we get anything addressing time-wise? Yes, we did. As I brought up before, we covered the 25th and 26th of September. And we also learned that Yom Kippur is basically just a couple of days, or within these days that these events are taking place. Next is the locations, to which we see Cleveland, Ohio, and of course Little Italy, to which they end up dropping into. We do have the mention of the name of Hitler and also Mussolini when it comes to the area of the cast of characters, and also someone by the name of Howard, and we of course have the main Mr. Gold, to which he must in a way sort of like pay his debt in relation to what the Mafia has asked of him, and this is what they have asked of him. For the overall story rating, I give it an 8 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.